There comes a moment when pretending becomes unbearable, when the mask you've worn for years begins to crack, and the weight of who you're not becomes heavier than the fear of who you might be. It doesn't scream. It doesn't beg for attention. It arrives in silence, in the pause between breaths, in the quiet ache of a heart that wants more but doesn't know how to ask. That moment, right there, is where your story starts. Not with certainty, not with perfection, but with honesty. If you're going to do it, then do it. Don't talk about it. Don't half commit to it. Don't tiptoe around it like it's something fragile. If you're going to build the life you keep dreaming about, then step into it like it's already yours. Walk toward it with trembling hands and a steady spirit. Run if you can. Crawl if you must. But don't stay still. Don't keep making peace with the parts of you that are keeping you small. The life you want isn't waiting at the end of a perfect plan. It's waiting at the edge of your decision. It's waiting in the action you keep postponing. It's hiding behind the leap you've been afraid to take. And it doesn't care about the timing. It only wants your willingness. And if you're not ready yet, say that. There's no shame in needing more time. There's no weakness in being unsure. But don't lie to yourself. Don't fake readiness just to impress people who are too distracted to even notice your pain. This path isn't for show. It's for you. It's for the nights you can't sleep and the mornings that feel too heavy. It's for the parts of you that no one claps for. The ones that fight battles in silence and still choose to stand. It's for the quiet warriors. The ones who keep showing up when no one is watching. And if that's who you are, if you're reading this and feeling like you're on the edge of something but not sure what it is, drop your truth below. I will 100% try to help. And if this helps you even 1%, pass it on. Because sometimes healing starts with a whisper, not a scream. Just a quiet, broken whisper of, "I'm not okay." And in that whisper is where your strength is born. Not the kind of strength that roars, but the kind that keeps breathing when everything inside you wants to shut down. That's where it begins. That's where everything starts to shift. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to hurt. And you are allowed to need. The world teaches us to hustle through our healing, to bypass our feelings in exchange for productivity. But true growth begins in stillness. In the moment you sit with yourself and say, "This hurts, but I'm here and I'm staying with me." Most people won't understand what it takes to keep showing up when you're exhausted, to believe again after disappointment, to trust again after betrayal, to build when no one's watching. But you do. That's your superpower. That's what makes you rare. And the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more real. It needs more of you. The version of you that's honest, the version that's raw, the version that doesn't pretend just to be palatable, the version that knows pain and chooses transformation anyway. You're standing at a crossroads. One road leads back to comfort, safety, familiarity, and slow spiritual decay. The other, it's wild, it's unpredictable, it's painful, but it's alive. It's where personal growth lives. It's where purpose waits. And deep down, you already know which way to go. You've known for a long time. You're just waiting for permission to choose yourself. Let this be that permission. Let this be the moment you say enough. I deserve more than survival. I'm ready for revival. Here it is, permission granted. Go, become, begin again. Burn the script they wrote for you. Rewrite your ending. Not for applause, not for attention, but for peace, for alignment, for that moment when you look in the mirror and finally recognize the person staring back, for the late nights when you sit with yourself and feel proud, not for being perfect, for being real, for not quitting, for staying in the room with your pain long enough to learn from it, for realizing that the person you've been becoming, quietly, is the one you've been searching for all along. And if you stumble, good. It means you're moving. If you fall, get back up. It means you're learning. If you're terrified, lean in. It means you're close. Fear doesn't show up when you're going nowhere. It shows up at the door of transformation. It's not the enemy. It's the evidence that you're alive. And if you feel like you're drowning in it, remember, breath is still here. Hope is still here. You have survived everything so far, and that makes you unstoppable. Let yourself feel. Let yourself break if you need to. The world has trained you to act okay, to shrink your emotions into digestible pieces. But you are allowed to feel the full weight of what you carry. You are allowed to cry without reason, to scream into your pillow, to feel like you're unraveling, as long as you promise to rise when it's done. Not because you're fixed, but because you're choosing yourself anyway. So let yourself grieve what didn't happen. Let yourself forgive who you were. Let yourself breathe again. Healing isn't a straight line. It's messy. It's sacred. It's yours. And no one gets to rush your process. No one gets to tell you what your timeline should look like. Not even you. Healing doesn't always look like light. Sometimes it looks like sitting in the dark and deciding not to disappear. Sometimes it looks like holding your own hand in silence and whispering, "We're still here." Even in the dark, there is growth. Even in the chaos, there is creation. Even in the silence, there is strength. Every version of you that survived to this point deserves honor, not shame. Every tear you've hidden, every battle you've fought in private, counts. You are not behind. You are human, and that alone makes you worthy of everything you're still reaching for. You are worthy even when you're tired, even when you're lost, even when your heart is too heavy to carry hope, because worthiness is not about your performance. It's about your presence. It's about being here, still breathing, still trying, still daring to believe that maybe, just maybe, there's more waiting for you. And maybe that more starts with one honest step forward. And if the words here touch your heart, if even a single sentence echoes in your soul, take a moment to subscribe to Elated Motivation. We're building more than just a channel here. We're creating a safe space for healing, for awakening, for inner peace and personal transformation. We're holding space for the brave when the days feel long, when the nights feel louder than your thoughts. Come back to this. Come back to this message. Come back to this moment. Let it hold you. Let it remind you that you've already survived things you thought would break you. Let it be proof that you're not finished. You're evolving, and even if the voice in your head says otherwise, you are worthy of a life that feels like home, even if that home is still under construction. And if this moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs it, with someone who's hurting in silence. You never know who's one honest word away from holding on. You never know who needs your voice to echo what they've been too afraid to say. Sometimes you are the mirror someone else needs to see themselves clearly again. Sometimes the courage you show by being real becomes the permission they needed to begin again too. And if no one has said it lately, I'm proud of you. For staying, for trying, for not letting the dark win, for carrying your own heart through storms no one saw. You're not broken, you're healing, and becoming is a sacred fight. One you're winning, one small step at a time. So keep going, keep showing up, and when you forget who you are, come back here. Reread this, feel it again. Let these words find the parts of you that are still healing. Let them stitch something back together. Let them remind you that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it's just continuing. And that counts. Because the journey doesn't end in victory. It begins in movement. You don't need a finish line to feel worthy. You just need the courage to take the next step, and then the next, until one day you look back and realize you became everything they said you couldn't be. Not because of luck, but because of your grit, your fire, your refusal to stay silent, your decision to rise again and again, even when no one was watching. You're almost home. And the next step? That's yours to take. Not for them, not for likes, not for validation, but for the version of you that's been patiently waiting to be seen. Honor that version, Become that version. Let them out of hiding. And if this message gave your soul a little space to breathe, do something with it. Save it. Share it. Send it to someone who's quietly breaking. You never know whose life you're lighting up just by speaking your truth. Your pain has power. Your voice has purpose. Your story isn't over. Not yet. Not now. Keep going. Keep rising. Your moment isn't coming. It's already here. You just need to meet it halfway. And when you do, the world will never be the same again. Because you didn't just survive, you transformed, and in that transformation, you became free. So here's your final reminder. The mask you wore to survive doesn't fit the person you become. Take it off, breathe deep, walk forward, bare face and brave, because you are not the story they wrote about you. You are the author now. Let the world feel your presence. Let your truth echo. And whatever you do, don't stop becoming. Welcome home. Welcome to Elated Motivation.